Good day, everyone. This is Lorraine from Canada with a verbling class for you at the intermediate level. This class is called Hurricane Herbert, and it's a reading class, also a vocabulary class. So if you are looking to learn all the different possibilities for bad weather in this class, we'll discuss them. We'll also be looking at modals for obligation, strong and weak obligation. So we'll say hi to people as they enter the class, and we have Cesar. Hi.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm very good. Where are you from, Cesar?
I'm from Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, very nice. And what's the weather like in Bogota, Colombia today?
We have a very variety wet climate. Someone's rain, have a someone have a hot.
Okay.
It's very variety.
Is the weather there a tropical kind of climate where you get rainfall in the late part of the day?
No, no, is it?
No?
No. It's a tropical weather, but not is rain all day. We don't have periods of time at the part of the year raining only. It's, uh,
Okay.
it's very variety. I think that is for the phenomena of weather phenomena, for example, the girl phenomena and boy phenomena. Do you know that?
I'm not sure. Can you write it in the chat? Girl and boy somethings.
Child Fenomeno El Niño is
Okay. The phenomenon. Okay.
is
So
according
El
to the,
Niño and La Niña?
yes,
Ah, okay. Got it.
yeah, and is variety our climate in all planet.
Yes.
Yeah, this climate a long years ago are very changed according to these phenomena.
So this is how that word is spelled in English. Phenomenon.
Phenomenon. All right,
Yeah. So we have the El Niño and La Niña
correcto,
that
correct.
that does something to the oceans, doesn't it? It makes it warmer. One makes it warmer, one makes it colder.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And El Niño, I think, brings hurricanes.
Rings.
An El Nino
Yeah.
causes more hurricanes, more than normal,
Uh-huh. Okay.
because the water is warmer.
Warmer.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, yeah. Interesting. Oh, we
For this
almost had
reason,
somebody with us.
I think that this our climate, our weather is very different all year.
Okay.
And
Do
can you just
do
say
you have do you
30,
have
30 or 40
seasons?
years, maybe 30 or 40 years ago, our weather more constantly about all time, but it changed. It changed.
It's changed.
It
Do
changed.
you think it is because of global warming?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, here in Canada, the weather has been changing as well. We have had very warm winters for
Uh-huh.
Canada
Uh-huh.
until last year, and last year we had a very cold winter. But it's funny because it is the winters of my childhood, you
Uh-huh.
know. We just went back to normal.
Mm, well, you enjoy it, but in the people from this part of the planet, tropic people, don't enjoy so much this type of climate because it's very cold for us.
Ah, you're getting it cold there.
Yeah.
We have been warmer on the whole here in Canada. It's been warmer climate until last year. and
Uh-huh.
last year it was a normal cold.
Okay.
I don't think anybody liked it.
Mm,
So I'm still waiting for some people to join us in the class. There were some
okay.
people who had reservations, but they're not here yet. So
Okay.
you
We're
might end
limited.
up with you might end up with a private class, and that's okay.
Okay.
So, what do you do for a living, Caesar?
I'm working in council company about oil and gas industry.
Oh, okay. Is there a lot of oil and gas exploration in
Yes, a little, but is very, very important. This type of industry, gas industry, is starting right now, maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm,
Um, but our exploration about natural resources is more about oil
oh, yeah.
from maybe 40 years ago.
Okay. Are they doing fracking in Colombia?
Fracking. I don't know what I mean
Fracking?
fracking.
Okay. In the United States and Canada, this is a new way of getting the oil and gas to the surface. It's called fracking, and it's very controversial here. Most people don't
Maybe.
like it.
These kinds of procediments very, what do you say, controversial?
Hmm.
Yes, but I don't know about this kind of procedure, fracking.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Interesting.
All right.
Uh, we have Halcio. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Very well. It will
That's
be
good.
a private class, but no.
That's okay. The more, the merrier is how we say it. It is a saying in English saying that the more people there are, the better it is. The more, the merrier.
I
So,
have some problems to enter in VerбLink today.
oh no.
I don't know why.
Oh, well, it happens. We all get that problem once in a while.
Mm,
Well, I think I will start the class, and hopefully other people will join in when they get done with whatever they're doing. So I have posted the worksheet in Verbling chat. I'll also put it in Google Chat in case you want it from there. And I have a screen share for the material.
Okay.
So if you click on my icon at the bottom of the page, this will pin the information so that it doesn't move around when other people are talking. Okay, so you should see a green screen that says Hurricane Herbert. If you can't see it, let me know. Oh,
Teacher, I never saw the week.
you didn't see the screen? The green screen?
No, no, I never saw the hurricane.
You have to push up the Lorraine number, and you
Ah,
see,
I
and
click
you
on the
see.
I click
Yes.
on the text.
Yeah.
I said that I never hurricane in my life.
You've never seen a hurricane.
Yes, I like in Brazil.
Ah, okay, you're
In,
lucky.
yeah, in Brazil we have hurricane with burglars hurricane.
Burglars.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hurricanes happen on the coast and usually in the Caribbean area. Lots of them around Mexico and Florida in the United States and up the eastern seaboard into eastern Canada as well. So they aren't in all places.
In Brazil the wind speed, the max of wind speed is 40 kilometers per hour. Per
That's
hour.
that's not very fast.
Yes.
Be happy. Okay, so let's see if we can uh, connect the picture with the correct vocabulary word.
All
So
right.
let's see. Caesar,
Okay.
let's start with you. Number one.
Number one. Number one is flooding.
Yeah, it's flooding. That's a pretty easy one. Is there flooding ever in Colombia?
Yes, sometimes
Yeah,
when the rain is very hard.
yeah, yeah. We get flooding here too. My cottage nearly flooded this spring. Halcyon, number two. What do you think this is a picture of?
This picture can be. Uh, I don't know the most of the words, but it seemed like a mist.
Yeah, it's mist. Another word for mist is fog, and you could also call it fog.
Okay.
Okay, but it's mist is the same. And
Uh,
number three, Caesar?
is snowdrift?
Not
No,
number
no,
three.
no.
You'll notice there's a little arrow
And the
pointing
number
at
three.
something.
Number three is I.
Yeah, that's the eye. It's an eye of
Of
a
the cyclone.
storm, of a cyclone, yeah. Or
Okay.
it could be also a hurricane. A cyclone and a hurricane are very similar. One
Mm-hmm.
is in the Atlantic and the other is in the Pacific. So, and there are some other, it has to do with where it is, the type of storm, whether they call it a hurricane or a cyclone. Halcyon, number four.
Number four, like an X, but I saw this.
They look like eggs, but they're not. They're very cold.
Oh my God, this is hailstone.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
hailstones. Hailstones, yes. In Canada, we often get hailstones. The weird thing is they are in the summer and not in the winter. Do you ever get that in Colombia, Caesar?
Excuse me?
Do you ever get hailstones in Colombia?
Yes, sometimes when it's raining so
Yeah,
hard.
yeah, really, really bad storm.
Hmm.
Elcio, what about where you are in Brazil?
I saw in Brazil only hailstone like a size of
I'm sorry, we missed what you said there. Your internet is acting up again. Can you repeat, Elcio? Okay, I don't hear you. I'm sorry. Caesar, what about number five?
Number five. Maybe yeah, snowdrift.
Yeah, this is a snowdrift.
Is
This is
when
what it looks like at my place in the winter time.
and then
After
you
a
have to
storm.
clean outdoor your
Yes,
home.
yes. What happens is it snows and the wind blows at the same time. And so the snow piles up in different places. It may
Okay.
not be this deep everywhere, but it will, it can cover your whole car. It's not fun.
Complicated.
Yeah. Caesar, or, Halcyon just left. Okay, Caesar, we'll just go through these together.
Give me a second, please.
Okay, number six. Uh-oh.
I'll come back.
Okay. Okay, Alcio's back too. Alcio, are you there?
yes.
Okay. Number six.
Number six. Six is like range of words. Cyclone?
Yeah, this is a cyclone. Yeah. It's not a very good picture of a cyclone. I was just trying to show how it goes in a circle. This is a much better picture of a cyclone. This is a satellite picture. It's
Mm-hmm.
easier to see how it goes in a circle. But I needed the picture of the eye. So
Mm-hmm.
Caesar, what about number 7?
Slit.
This isn't sleet. What is happening to the lady's umbrella?
The wind is trying to um, arrange from your arms.
Yeah. So it's a wind. What word up there has to do with wind?
Wind and water and snow, maybe.
But in our vocabulary words at the top of the page,
Uh-huh.
one of them has to do with wind.
Slit.
Sleet has to do with precipitation or rain-snow mixture.
Um, I don't know. Maybe.
We say gusts of
Gust.
wind. Yeah,
Yes.
gusts of wind. A gust of wind will turn your umbrella inside out.
Okay.
So a gust is when, it's windy, but then this really big wind comes along, and
Uh-huh. Okay.
that's a gust. Elcio, number 8.
Number H is number H. It's I have a doubt in between frost and ice.
Yeah, and there is a word for that that's very specific. It's called sleet. Sleet is between a rain and a snow and ice pellets. It
Okay.
is terrible.
Uh,
When it
I
falls
can imagine.
when it falls on the ground, it freezes there. So everything becomes so icy, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very dangerous. It is the worst weather. I
Mm-hmm.
hate it more than snow.
It's a dangerous combination.
Very dangerous, very dangerous. Horrible. Okay, I don't know whose turn it is. Caesar, you can do number 9.
This picture is ice cream on the ground.
It's an ice cream truck melted on the ground.
Okay, so it's heat wave.
It's a heat wave, yeah. It's hard to find pictures. Elcio, what about number 10?
This is other heat wave.
Yeah, but this is what happens when it's hot and there is no rain, no water. Everything dies of thirst.
Mm, let me think about a drought.
Drought. Drought is correct. Yes, this is drought. It is one of the worst things to happen to an area, drought. Okay, Caesar, 11 is what happens when you get sleet.
Okay, maybe it's
A
icy.
drunk.
It is icy. Yes, this is icy. This is a guy slipping on the road and falling down
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Okay.
icy. Okay, and the last picture, Halcyon,
It's a frost.
it's frost. Yes. Do you understand frost?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
amazing when in the morning, when there is dew on the ground, the water that just comes from the air. When it's
Mm-hmm.
cold, it freezes onto things. And this is a picture of frost frozen onto a window. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was a child, when you'd wake up in the morning, the whole window would look like this beautiful crystal picture on the window, and that's the frost. It can
Okay.
be very beautiful. Are there any questions about this vocabulary?
No.
Uh,
Okay.
no,
Yes?
no, that's
No.
okay.
Okay, because we're going to use it now in sentences. So that's what's next. So we have the same group of words, but we're going to put them into the paragraphs. And the paragraphs does not make up a story. They're just paragraphs about weather in different places. So, Elcio, can you do number 1 for me? Read the whole little, I think it's a whole sentence, one sentence,
Okay.
and try to put the right words on the lines.
The the eye of the cyclone is
Mm-hmm.
still 100 miles offshore, but already extensive damage has been seen in the southern regions of Bangladesh due to
Caesar, can you mute your microphone because we're getting noise from your background?
Okay. Sorry.
Thanks. That's okay. All right, continue,
due
Elcio.
it's very complicated due to
Mm-hmm.
gusts
Mm-hmm.
of wind of 75 miles per hour. State Radio has warned our residents to take shelters as
Severe, severe.
severe hailstorm is expected along the whole coastline.
Okay, not hailstones. Severe when you're on the coast and it's raining hard. What do you think will happen to the land around it on the coast? Do you understand coast? This is where the land meets the ocean.
Okay. Severe winds, but
Mm,
no in the vocabulary.
no. Remember, it's raining during a
Sleet?
cyclone.
Sleet?
And no, it's raining. So you're going to get
Flooding?
flooding. Yes, along the coastline, you'll get lots of flooding because all the rivers end at the ocean.
Uh-huh.
And then you end up with a lot of water right there. So it starts to flood very badly. And severe means very bad flooding.
All right.
Okay, good. Any questions about that?
No.
All right. Caesar, number 2.
Meanwhile, in Illinois, which is suffering drought conditions after 3 months without rainfall, temperatures will be close to record highs for this time of year. Indiana is also suffering from an intense um, heat wave with temperatures over 100 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 days.
Okay, good. Thank you. That was only 2, so I'm going to let you do number 3 as well. Caesar, do number 3 as well because you only had 2 words to deal with.
Okay. We are expecting very low temperatures overnight, and there will be a severe snowdrift.
Okay, remember I said that when you have very low temperatures, and
Uh-huh.
overnight you have the dew that comes down and it freezes on the windows. What did we
Okay.
call that?
Icy.
Not icy. Icy is an
Sorry,
adjective.
frost.
Yes, frost, exactly.
Yes. We
Frost.
are expecting very low temperatures overnight, and there will be severe frost in most areas at dawn. So give yourself time to clear car windows. Drive carefully because we expect many railroads to be very icy and
Yes.
slippery.
Yes.
In the evening, clouds will move in a while it won't be cold enough for snow. There may be some, okay, sleet,
Yes.
niebla.
So sleet is what happens when the temperature is just at the freezing mark, maybe a little above, maybe a little below. Not enough for snow, but sleet, which is a mixture of rain and snow.
Okay,
Nasty stuff. Good, thank you.
okay.
All right, Alcio, number 4.
As evening falls, some coastal areas will see a little misty,
Mist. Mhm.
mistis, mist, which will reduce visibility on the local roads. In the north of Minnesota, the unus-
Unusual.
the
Unusual.
unusual weather seen over the last few days continues today. Large snow drift, large
Not
snow
not
drift,
snowdrifts this time.
Hailstones, yeah.
Mhm.
hailstorm,
Yeah. Large hailstones
storms that
damaged
damage
cars.
cars and windows and cause thousands of dollars in damage. Near the Canadian border, some communities saw up 12 hours of snow and there were 3 foot 3 foot of ice. No,
Snowdrift.
snow.
3-foot snowdrifts blocking the roads.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the, 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 the means of snow drift, like a density of the snow.
Mountains of snow.
Lots. I'm going to go back to the picture. You
Uh-huh.
see this picture number 5?
Uh,
If you have ever been in the desert, have you ever been in a desert, Elcio?
no,
No?
instead of sandy, no.
Well, snow and sand do the same thing. When the wind blows, the snow piles up in piles here and there, depending on what the wind pattern is. And we call this drifting. So it's
Okay.
not that the snow is at one level. Because of the wind, it piles it up into different places, and those are called snowdrifts. So as you can see, the car isn't all covered. There's this spot here where there's not much snow at all, but the drift is all around the car. It's not fun. You have to shovel all that. It's not fun. Okay, let me just go on to the next page. Okay, so we've done all of those. Are there any questions about any of the words in this?
No.
Okay, all right, we'll go on. So we're going to do some reading now, but before we do, we're going to think about the kinds of things that you should do if a hurricane is coming.
Okay.
So the thing about hurricanes is the weather people can predict them several days in advance. So one time when I was holidaying in Cuba, they came
Mm-hmm.
to us at the hotel on a beautiful day. It was sunny and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. And they said, we have to move you because there's a hurricane coming. So we had to go to a different hotel in a different area because this hurricane was coming. And it did. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 days, and it was completely different. So, what do you think you might do a few days before a hurricane arrives? What do you think you need to do? Elcio, do you have any idea?
To move it for other country. Get out.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but think about if your house was, if you had a summer house in Florida and there was a hurricane coming, what would you need to do
Uh,
to make your house safe?
I need to close all the windows
Mm-hmm. Close all the windows.
with the wood and the panels.
Yeah,
And
actually, they have things called hurricane shutters just for that very purpose. You put them up. They're big pieces of wood that go over your windows to
I
protect
need
them.
I need to buy water and
Hmm.
food to get in my house
That's a good idea.
and have I don't know and
Usually, in a hurricane, you will lose power.
I need to buy batteries.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, Caesar, what do you think you need to do during the hurricane?
I try to find a safe place to protect me and my family.
And where do you
Um,
think that safe place would be?
I don't know if I had to do if I had done provisions like Elcio said,
Hmm.
maybe I had built a basement down my house.
Okay, yeah, often a basement is a good place to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't have it. Um, Try to find a safe place. For example, no, I don't know. The hurricane is very disaster, and any place I think that's very dangerous to try to protect me. But I think that go to down to the table or to down to the concrete columns to my home. Um, I don't know.
No,
Uh,
they're all good suggestions. Another thing that you might have to do, depending on how close to the coast you are, they
uh-huh.
may ask you to evacuate,
Okay,
meaning
see.
to leave your house and go to higher ground,
Mm-hmm.
because a big problem will be the amount of rainfall and flooding. So
Okay. The
if there is
basement,
a
the basement don't help us.
yeah, that's not a good spot. It's a great spot if it's a tornado. A
Yeah.
tornado is a different thing, so it doesn't
Yes.
have the rain associated with it.
Okay.
Okay, so what about after it leaves? Either one of you, what do you think you need to do after the hurricane is past?
Mm, you say that when the hurricane is gone?
Mm-hmm. When it's gone.
I don't know.
o-
Try to fix the damage.
Okay.
open
First
a
of all,
beer,
you have to find the damage. Alcio, do you have an idea?
open a beer and enjoy.
Sounds good to me.
This is very optimistic.
Hmm.
Feels good.
Cry.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I remember going to Cancun, Mexico one year after they had a terrible hurricane,
Uh-huh.
and it was very sad. Everything, all the trees in the parks were, the roots were right out of the ground, and all of the power lines were down, and roofs were torn off of houses. It was just such a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So they say you should be very careful when you go outside, because the biggest danger are the power lines when they're on the ground. You don't want to step on one. They
Okay.
say it's a shocking experience.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
I
Really.
can imagine. In Canada, is there a hurricane?
We don't get hurricanes where I live, except on very rare occasions. We
Okay.
do get a number of tornadoes around where I live.
You have tornadoes in your country.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Not as bad as the United States gets, but
Okay.
still, this year in my area, we had two very destructive tornadoes this
Hmm.
spring. So,
It's
yeah,
enough too.
yeah, it's not fun.
No, really.
Okay, so let's read the article
Okay.
now. Elcio, I'm going to get you to start. Please read the title and then the paragraph in green.
Okay. Hurricane Herbert, Be Prepared by Hannah Long. The Hurricane Advisory Center has warned that Hurricane Herbert, a serious Category 3 hurricane, will make a landfall along the eastern Florida coastline on Sunday evening. That gives everyone there more day to prepare for this dangerous storm.
Okay, so I want to point out that this isn't Sunday, this is
Ah, Saturday.
Saturday. Yes.
A wrong day.
You got one day ahead of
A little
yourself there.
different.
And then that gives everyone 3 more days. Three.
Three,
Yeah.
three. I said there.
Yeah. 3 more days. So they're going to prepare for the storm. Caesar, can you continue with the black paragraph, please?
Okay. What should we be doing before, during, and after Hurricane Herbert? And perhaps more importantly, what should we absolutely not be doing? Your first preparation should take place a good few days before a hurricane is due to arrive on land, so you should listen to weather forecasts carefully in the hurricane season, which is generally between June and November. If there is a mandatory evacuation order for your area, that means you have to leave town, so you should have a place in mind where you and your family can go, such as staying with a relative in a safe area. If there isn't such an order, you can stay at home, but there are still a lot of things to consider.
Okay, good. And this word here, can you say it again, please?
Relative?
Relative.
Relative.
Relative, yes. So the emphasis, the stress is on the first syllable, relative.
Relative. All right.
Hmm. Good. Okay, Halcyo, continue.
If you stay in your home, you really must make sure you have enough food and drinking water for everybody. You must not leave it is too late to get this, this.
Supplies.
Well, his
I
his
lost the,
screen hasn't changed yet.
I lost the line. Oh my God.
I had to change the slide, so it didn't update for you. Do you see it yet?
No.
No.
Point the
Please
mouse.
go.
Put, move your mouse on the line.
Move the last page,
Ah,
please.
supplies because many
Suppose.
stores will close a day or two before the hurricane arrives. Should you keep your TV and radio on to listen to let, latest news,
Latest
latest,
news.
latest news when the hurricane arrives? Stay indoors. You must stay away from windows that might break. Prefer, preferable, preferable,
Preferably.
pref,
Preferably.
preferably. You
Hmm.
should use hurricane shutters to protect windows.
Good.
What is the shutters?
Shutters, I was saying this before. Instead of putting boards on your window, wooden boards,
Like a
they
barrier?
they
wood,
have they
like a
have
wood.
sh yeah, there are like doors that cover the window.
Yeah, made in wood, for example.
They're made of wood usually,
Yeah.
but they are on hinges, and there's one on either side of the window, and you close them into the middle and lock it. And
Uh-huh.
that way the storm can't hit against the glass. It'll just hit against these wooden doors or shutters. They're called shutters when they're on a window.
Like a
Hmm.
extra protection in the wind.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay, so continue, Caesar.
After the hurricane passes, you must be careful when you go outside as the eye of the storm may be above you, which means the back of the storm will arrive soon afterwards. You mustn't touch fallen power lines as they may be live. You should stay in your own house as much as possible.
Okay, so the eye of the storm can be quite large, and I have seen it where one of these revolving storms comes. You get the wind from one half of the storm, and as it moves over you, and now the eye is directly over top of you. And when that happens, everything gets absolutely still. There's no wind, nothing. And you think,
Uh-huh.
oh,
Uh-huh.
the storm's over. And then as that eye moves away, you get the other side of the storm with all the crazy wind again. So you aren't out of the storm until you see both sides of that eye.
Mhm.
Okay. Good. Alcio, continue.
Okay. Drive around your neighborhood to look the damage is something we can't do. If you get in the way of emergency services trying to clear up, reconnect power, and rescue people, you may be arrested.
Okay, good. Any questions?
No, no.
Okay, so we're going to look at the grammar point now, which are the modal verbs that were used in the paragraphs. Because some of them are very strong obligation and some of them are just a suggestion. So we're
Like a
going
week.
to, sorry?
Week.
Yeah, weak. They're
Week or
very weak.
vacation.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with number one. Caesar, read the
That's
little
mean that
part.
means you have to leave town.
Okay, that means you have to leave town. So what does this mean? Is it A, B, C, D, E, or F? What do you think matches the best?
Mm,
You have to leave town. Is this a weak suggestion, or do you
it's
think that
it's it's
you
it's
gotta
in,
go?
it's an obligation. You don't have a choice.
That's right. It is an obligation. You don't have a choice in this. Okay, Elcio, can you do number two?
You should have a place in mind. Letter C. This is extremely important for you to do.
Usually, when we use the word should, it's not as strong as that.
Hmm.
Something when somebody says to you, you should go out for dinner tonight.
In this case, it's a good idea to
Yeah,
do.
it's a very
To,
good idea.
But you don't have no obligation.
No, there's no obligation there. If you don't want to plan ahead, well, that's up to you. But it's a good idea to have a place in mind to go to. So it isn't an obligation. They're not saying you must have a place in mind. You should. Okay, Caesar, number 3.
Okay.
Read the sentence so we know what it is.
If there isn't such an order, you can stay at home. I can understand what I mean, such an order.
Oh, okay. So in the article, this sentence is pulled from the article. The order to evacuate is what they're talking about. If there isn't an order to evacuate,
Okay.
then you can stay at home.
You are allowed?
Yeah, you're allowed to. It's funny, there's people who try to come in and then they drop out of the class. I wonder what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem today verbally.
Is that right? Yeah, that's too bad. Okay, number 4, Elcio.
Okay, I allow it. Yeah, okay.
You really must make sure you have enough food. Uh, Now is letter C.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah, that's right. It's letter C. You're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You really must make sure you have enough food. This is extremely important. Otherwise, you're going to starve. Okay, Caesar 5.
You mustn't leave it too late to get the supplies. This is extremely important for you to do.
Okay, you mustn't leave
It's
it too
obligation.
late. Remember, it's must not.
Must not.
Mustn't is must not. And by the way, this is very British English, and I don't think in American English, and I certainly know in Canadian English, we don't use mustn't very often.
Must not?
It's must not.
Okay.
We would say, don't leave it too late to get these supplies. We would make it the imperative. Don't leave it too late. So, did you say which one it was?
I got it, but is maybe D.
Yeah, it's D, for sure. It's important for you not to do this. Good. Elcio, number 6.
You should keep your TV and radio on. You should.
Oh, Caesar, you're making lots of noise. Can you mute, please?
It's very noisy here.
Okay.
You should keep your TV and radio on.
You can use any of these over again.
Is letter A. It's a good
E.
idea.
Yeah.
E. I have confused better letter E and A.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're right. E. It's a good idea to do this.
Because in Portuguese it is opposite.
Oh, no.
Pronunciation.
Yeah. Yeah. In English, we have that with the H and J. I'm learning Spanish, so they say a J with a H sound, and it's very, very different. Okay. Caesar, turn on again. And number 7, please.
Okay, you must stay away from windows. Definitely this is extremely important for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can suffer in a damage.
Exactly. Good. Halcyon, number 8.
Number 8. You must be careful when you go outside because must is it's obligation. Don't you have a choice? No, 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 no.
So what are you thinking?
This is extremely important for you to do.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Caesar.
Okay, you must not touch falling power lines. This is an obligation. You don't have a choice.
Well, it isn't an obligation.
Well,
This is something, again, must not. So it's the same as the other one where you mustn't leave it too late. You must not touch falling power lines.
okay, it is very important. It's very important for you not to do this.
That's right. Okay, and
Yeah.
Halcyon, number 10.
To look at damage is something you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a it's an obligation. You don't have a choice.
Okay, remember this is cannot. Cannot.
Uh,
You cannot do it.
the damage is something you can't do. Letter C.
F.
It's going to be, yeah, F. You are not allowed. You can't do it. You are not allowed to do it.
People qualifying have to do this.
Yeah. So the sentence was from the paragraph talking about after the storm. You don't go out and look at the damage and just poke around because you're going to be getting in the way. And if you are found doing it, the police will arrest you. So you
All right.
can't do it. You're not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, now I understand the phrase.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are not easy. That's why this is an intermediate lesson. Modal verbs are really important in English, but they're not easy. And
I
these ones,
agree.
yeah, these ones for obligation, and they change because what I'm teaching you here is what you would hear from somebody who's speaking British English. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, we say it a little bit different in the US and Canada.
Uh-huh.
Mostly we would use imperatives for these. When it is so important, we don't say you must. You
Mm-hmm.
must not. You just say, don't do it.
It's an order.
Yeah, it's an order. Okay. So it says here, work with another student. Well, there's only 2 of you, so you guys can, we'll just do them one at a time. We have 2 sentences in each of these categories. So I want you to tell me what each of these sentences mean. For instance, you have to leave town if the authorities tell you to. So what do you think about this? Is this going to be a strong obligation, or it doesn't matter?
I think that is a strong obligation because this sentence means that the authorities of the city, for example, is ordering to the people to evacuate your home and your city.
Right. So have to usually is going to be something that's a strong obligation.
Yeah,
You have no choice. That's
you
good.
have no choice.
Yeah. So Caesar, what about B? Read the sentence and tell me what you think about it.
Mm, What do you mean nearby?
Letter B, read this
And
sentence.
nearby? No, no, yeah. Okay. Okay. You should leave town if you have relatives.
Relatives.
Relatives. You
Yes,
should leave town if you have relatives living nearby.
that's nearby.
N-
Nearby.
Nearby.
Yes.
Nearby.
And that word
Okay.
nearby, of course, it means close to you.
I think that is obligation to you have no choice because you have to experience you maybe have a dangerous because the disaster is near to you and the and say you that you should leave your town. Maybe the hurricane uh, pass near to town.
Okay, but the way this sentence is structured and the modal verb that it uses.
But no, it is not obligation really because the should is means like options, like a
Exactly.
suggestions.
This is suggested, but there is no obligation there.
Okay.
It's just a good idea. When we
Okay.
use have to, it is an
Yes.
obligation. You've got to do it. When we
Yeah.
use should, it's a darn good idea.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so remember that. It's not a strong thing when you use the word should.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so Halcyon, try number 2. It's the only thing, it's all we've got time for.
You should stay indoors even when the eye of the storm is passing. It means like advice.
Hmm.
You
Again,
can
it's
or you cannot go out of your house.
right. So again, it's you're giving good advice. It's a good idea to stay indoors. What about sentence B, Halcyon?
You must stay indoors during the hurricane as it's very dangerous. It's order. You
Yeah.
you stay in your house, you will die.
Yeah, it's an extremely important thing. When you
Very
must
important.
do something, it's an extremely important thing to do, and I'm strongly urging you to stay inside. I can't make you because all I can do is tell you the best thing to do. You must stay indoors.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. All right, number 3. Very quickly, let's do this one.
Okay.
Caesar, read
You
A.
can't you can't disturb the work of the emergency service after the storm passes. This is obligation. Obligation. We have. I am not allowed to do nothing after the storms.
Okay, so more like not obligation. In this case, it is something that you are not allowed to do.
Yeah.
Obligation usually has to do with something that you need to do. So
Uh-huh.
you're obliged or you're obligated to leave town if the
Uh-huh.
authorities tell you. You can't disturb the work. You are not allowed. You will be arrested if you do
Yeah.
this. Okay, so you're not allowed. And LCO B, read it and tell me what you think.
You should not leave it too late to go to the supermarket for supply. You need to make bought the food is as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a advice.
Yeah, this is advice again. Yeah, it's a good idea to not do this. So you shouldn't leave it too late. So don't do this.
Okay.
Okay, good. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me for this lesson.
Thank
And
you,
it was
teacher.
fun with just the two of you. It was great. And you did well. So I hope you learned something. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Me too. Bye
Bye
bye,
bye,
teacher. Thank you
teacher.
so much.